All right, guys, we are going to do our very first lesson in geometry. All right, when I say that word geometry, does something come in your mind? Shapes. Okay. Give me a thumbs up if you can think of something else. Math. Macy? Okay, you think maybe that's a prediction that geometry could do numbers. Could have some numbers in it sometime when we get a little older. Anybody think of it? When I say the word geometry, have you heard that before? So this isn't the first time that we've done this standard, right? Have you done it in kindergarten?
Yes.
How about first grade?
Yes.
Second grade?
Yes.
But have we done it in third grade? No, because today is our first lesson. So what I want to tell you is our standard, and this is our standard for geometry. What it says is you are going to be able to understand different categories of shapes. Before, in second grade, your prior knowledge would be identifying shapes, right? We looked at a shape and we're like, hey, that's a square. That's a circle. We're going to go really deep in third grade. All right? You're going to love it. It's going to be fun. So we are going to look at some different shapes. We're going to look at some rhombus, or rhombi is the actual plural, funny word. Rectangles. We also are going to look at their attributes. Everybody say that word.
Attributes.
Jaylene's attributes is she has brown hair and brown eyes. Oh, Jenna, can you say that really loud? I did. It's how you describe the shape. Guys, you can hear that as its attributes, or they can call them their properties. Okay, so I want you to be able to hear them both ways. The next thing that we can do is we can see how these shapes fit together into different categories. All right? So there may be more than one shape, and they join together, and they make a new category. It's pretty cool. All right? Our I can statement today. Is everybody ready? I can identify and describe polygons. Oh my goodness. Is there a word in there that maybe you're confused about? Do we know about identify? So we can do that. That's a verb. We can identify something.
I wonder what polygons are.
Oh my gosh. I wonder what polygons are. Does anybody, Daniel, you want to give it a shot? Okay. Shapes. All right. What do you guys think? I think it is shapes. Polygons say a shape to be a polygon. Are we ready? Must be a closed figure. So everybody do that. It's got to be a closed figure. So can our figure be open? No. It's got to be a closed figure with straight sides. All right. So if I was to draw a shape that had curvy lines all over it, I'm going to draw one for us. And you guys tell me if, we're going to do an example and a non-example. Tell me if this is a polygon. I want you to give me a thumbs up if you think this is a polygon. If you think it's a polygon, give me a thumbs up. Remember, our definition of a polygon is what? Closed figure with straight sides. Aiden, do you think it's a polygon? Why? Tell me what attributes shows that it's a polygon.
This and it has straight lines.
And what else does it have? It's what? What do we say it has to be? Closed. Okay, I've got another one for you. Polygon? But it has straight sides? Oh, it's not closed. So do you guys see example and non-example? We need to know both, right? Because sometimes Miss Hayward likes to trick us with a non-example. All right, guys, we are going to look at a really cool picture. All right? Wow, look at this house. Holy moly. This house is absolutely spectacular. I'm going to give you about 15 seconds. I want you to tell me, what do you wonder about this picture? Probably some wonderings are going on in your head. And what do you notice? And by notice, I want you to see if you can find any polygons, shapes. All right? So when you have something for me, I want you to give me a thumbs up. Oh, I've got some people. Aiden, which category do you want to go in? I wonder or I notice? Oh, tell me what you wonder about this. What do you wonder? Okay. What do you notice? Do you see a pond? You don't see any shapes?
I see a square.
Oh, that's a shape, right? Where do you see a square? Be careful. Oh, a square. He noticed a square. In a moment in our task, we're going to dig down into that square, and you're going to tell me some attributes of the square. I don't want to give it away right here. All right? Tell me what else, Allie?
I wonder
What do you wonder?
how they made so many shapes.
Oh, I like that. How did they make all the shapes? I love it. How did they make all the shapes? It's very cool, isn't it? All right. Anybody else have an I wonder or I notice? Isabella.
A square right here.
You saw another square? Okay. So is it okay with you, Isabella, since we have square on here, if I tally that you saw it too? Okay. So I'm just going to put a tally mark. And Caroline?
I wonder if it's safe.
Ooh, is it safe? Good question.
It looks safe to me.
I like that. All right. Any more shapes, guys? Any more shapes like pointing out at you, Bella?
I noticed a rectangle.
Oh, a rectangle. So right now in your mind, I want you to think about the attributes of a rectangle because you're going to need it for our task. All right. She noticed a rectangle. A rectangle and a square are similar, right? Right. But they're not congruent. And I'm going to teach you about that word in a couple of days. All right. Jaylene.
I noticed a triangle.
Ooh, she noticed a triangle. Do I have anybody else that noticed a triangle? I love it. How many sides does a triangle have, guys? Three. All right. There are many different types of triangles up there. Oh, I love it. Anything else? Anybody notice another shape? Macy.
Well, I don't know. Well, I do notice. I have an I wonder, but I
Okay.
also do notice a shape.
What did you notice?
I'm going to start with I wonder.
Okay.
I wonder if somebody lives here.
Oh, does anybody live here? Good question.
I do notice
Oh, I believe it's Macy's turn. Are we in ready position? Thank you, Macy. I'm sorry.
It's pretty obvious, but in the center, I think there's a cube.
Oh, so you went from 2D,
And then
which are flat shapes, and then you said, I see maybe inside of it a 3D shape of a cube. Where?
I see, like the windows and stuff.
Okay, so are windows 3D or are they flat?
Flat.
So would that be a 2D or a 3D? 2D.
No. That whole thing is like a square.
Right, that whole thing is a square, but it's a flat shape. You see how it's laying flat? It's not 3D. It's
There's a top of that. I mean, the whole square, cube. Right here. The whole window.
the whole thing right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still flat, baby. It's not 3D. It's not going to come out at you.
But
Okay, it's not going to have faces, and it's not going to be three-dimensional, so it's not going to have part here, here, and here. It's just a flat pane of glass. Now, if you were talking about the recliner right here,
But there's also rectangle.
there's rectangles within it, right? Yeah. So if you're talking about that recliner inside of there, could we say that's 3D? Yeah, and so that would be a cube. Yes, good findings there. All right, I'm going to take one more. James.
I wonder if I know. Wait. I wonder how many shapes are on it.
Ooh, good question. How many shapes were used? All right. I love it. So we noticed a lot of our basic shapes that we've learned about before, right? Squares, rectangles, triangles, a cube. Today, I'm going to give you a piece of paper, and I want to go over the vocabulary words to it first, okay? Here are the vocabulary words to our paper, and I'm going to grab it, and I'm going to hold it up for you so you can see what it looks like. All right, and all the words that are on this sheet, I'm going to go over right here. The first one is rectangle. What's the word?
Rectangle. Triangle.
The next one is triangle. What's the word?
Triangle.
Square.
Square.
Rhombus.
Rhombus.
Trapezoid.
Trapezoid.
Quadrilateral.
Quadrilateral.
Let's do that again. Quad. Draw. Lateral.
Lateral.
Good. Say it fast. Quadrilateral. Pentagon.
Pentagon.
Hexagon.
Hexagon.
Circle.
Circle.
Sides.
Sides.
Vertices.
Vertices.
All right. So here is your task for today. It says plane shapes. So these are going to be our 2D shapes, Macy. We are going to use the space provided below. You may either draw the shape or you may write words to describe its attributes. Now remember in class, if 1-star work would be I just drew the shape. 2-star and 3 stars, I drew the shape and gave me some attributes of that shape. Describe it. Remember with Jaylene's pretty brown eyes and pretty brown hair? Describe that shape. Is it okay if I have no idea about a shape? Yes, today's the first day. It's okay. If you knew everything about it, I would have nothing to do. Be boring. All right, so you are going to have me time. Somebody tell me what me time is first. Caroline, tell me really loud what is me time. Everybody listening?
Me time is when you can't have a teacher to help you, just do it by yourself.
You do it by yourself. I want you to show me everything you know. That is the name of our frameworks task. Show me what you know. All right, you're going to have 5 minutes. You're going to have 5 minutes of me time. Okay? You're going to draw everything you know about them. After that 5 minutes, I'm going to come around with some attribute blocks. All right? I'm going to come around with some shapes. So maybe then you could be like, oh, that's what that shape is called. You could lay it on there and trace it. Also, after the 5 minutes, you can work with your table and maybe somebody knows something about a shape that you don't know. All right? Sound like a plan. Do you have any questions about the task? Yes, Cassandra? If you do not know the shape, is that okay? Just leave it blank, all right? Because then when I call you back to small group, if you'll sit down for just a second, when we call back to small group in the next few days, I can be like, oh, I need to work on that shape with Cassandra, okay? It is okay. You're not going to know some of these words. It is totally fine. All right. Yes, Jamira.
What happens if you don't know what the shape is called and you don't know what the shape looks like? Or
What did I just tell Cassandra? What do we do? We just leave it blank. And Miss Hayward will help you through the week. Yes, Macy? Yes, I will. All right, are we ready? I want to see you tiptoe back. Oh, we're in. Today, yes, our social contract word is we are going to be a good listener. All right? We're going to be a good listener. All right. Yes.
When we were looking at the house, I actually realized one very important thing.
What did you realize?
The squares
Mm-hmm.
are actually not squares; they're trapezoids.
Oh, I like how you're thinking, Daniel. All right, pass it out to your neighbor. You need one more? I obviously can't count today, can I? All right.
I noticed something.
No, I would like for you to do your task and then you can go, okay? I'll get you in just a second, okay? Let me give these. All right. So right now, everyone has their paper. Please put your name on it. Remember, you are a proper noun. Place your name onto your page. Good job, Jenna. You got up on your own. Great job. All right, name on it, and I will start my timer for our 5 minutes of me time. All right, you ready? All right, 5 minutes of me time. Everybody look at the clock for me because one of our standards coming up is learning to tell time. It is approximately 11, close to 11:15. We're about 11:14. When the minute hand is on the 4, which would be what time? 11:20, we will stop our me time. Has everybody got it? All right, are we ready? 5 minutes of me time, go. All right, go ahead. I'm going to tell you the first shape, okay? The first shape I want you to tell me about is a rectangle. Can you draw the rectangle? Macy, would you like a stamp? Okay. No, you know what? I'm going to give you the shapes after me time. I want to see what can you tell me without them first, and then I'll give you the manipulative. All right, so here's some stamps to help you with your drawing. If you do not see the stamp for that word, you can try to draw it. I don't have them all, okay? So first one's a rectangle. Could you draw me a rectangle? Oh, man. You guys are super awesome. So, James, tell me what you've done here. What is this?
A rectangle, and it has a right angle.
How do you know something is a right angle?
It's a perfect L.
Oh, it is a perfect L right there. So do you think on this rectangle, I'm going to give you a challenging question. Does this just have one right angle? How many right angles?
One.
Oh, a rectangle has 4 right angles. Well, I'm going to come back in a minute and see if there's any other shapes on here that have other right angles, okay? Awesome job. I love what I'm seeing. All right, it's a rhombus. Great job on your square. A rhombus. Can you tell me something about that square, though? Are there any words? Okay, so guess what? Just skip it, and maybe somebody at your table in a minute can help you during group time. I don't know. We'll have to see. You can always try. I love it. Great job, Caroline. Isabella, I'm loving what I'm seeing. You're working hard. Don't forget, if you can draw the shapes, tell me about them. Even if it's just one thing, tell me about it. Great job. Yes, ma'am, it says triangle. All right, guys, we've been working for about 4 minutes. I'm going to come around and ask some questions. In about 1 minute, I'm going to let you work with your groups with some pattern blocks, okay? All right? Yes, Isabella, you can go, sweetie. All right, so tell me about what you've drawn here. What is that?
It's a square.
How do you know it's a square?
Because it says square up here also, and then my shape.
Okay, so tell me what you wrote about it. I like what you put.
It has 4 sides and it is 2D.
How do you know it's 2D?
Because it's flat.
Oh, it's flat. All right. What about 3D? Are 3D flat? No. All right. And that says plane shapes. Do you think 2D and plane shapes could be kind of like, what word do we use in ELA?
Similar.
Similar. Oh, synonyms. I like it. So, Giancarlo, based off of our definition earlier of a polygon, remember? What did we say? Closed figure with what? Straight. What? Straight.
Lines?
Good, straight lines. Would you say this? What is this?
Circle?
Is circle a polygon, do you think? Yes or no?
No.
No, why? What tells you that it's not?
It doesn't have straight lines.
Oh, it doesn't have straight sides, but it is closed, right? All right, good job, buddy. That word is quadrilateral, Macy. If you don't know, you can skip it. Yes. So tell me what you're doing. I'm loving that you're numbering, but what are you numbering? What is that? We'll have to wait till we work with our group, okay? Okay, I like that. I like that you call them the pointed parts of them. Do you know what a vocabulary word for a pointed part of it? Look at our vocabulary words on the board.
lengthways.
Yes, ma'am. Those are called vertices. How many vertices does a hexagon have? Good girl. I like how you're describing them.
Also, I just noticed if you cut this in half, it equals that.
Stop. I want you to tell me that again. Bryson, can you let Isabella in? If you cut, okay, I want you to tell me real words. Okay, you say if I cut this, what is this? If I cut the...
If you cut the hexagon in half, it equals a trapezoid.
Are you kidding? Show me. Prove it. Oh my goodness, so how many trapezoids make up a hexagon? How many?
2.
Will you share that during closing? I would love for you to share that. That is awesome. Yes, ma'am, Jenna. Wait, let me come to you.
Diamond.
Oh, it's a squished one. I like that. I love your drawings. Those are very good. All right, guys, it is now time that we can work with our table groups. I'm going to bring you some attribute blocks. You may use those while you're digging through here. You may be like, oh my gosh, I remember that shape. All right, and look at it, touch it, feel it, hold it up, count the sides. All right, here you go, table 5. Yeah, see if you can figure out. Here you go, table 4. Good job. So look at your shapes. Oh, it kind of does look like it. Here you go, table 3, table 2. John Carlo, if you want to move over here beside James on this side so you can reach the shapes. Yes, you may. Table 1, I didn't forget about you. I'm coming. All right, table 1. I'm going to switch this and put this here. Grab some attribute blocks. See if you can come up with some more attributes now that you can touch it. Okay? Absolutely.
You can also draw them in different ways.
Wait, tell me that again, Allie. What are you meaning? You're saying you can draw them in different ways.
Like you can turn them around.
Oh, so you're telling me.
Yeah.
So show me. I want you to prove it to me. I'm confused. Those are, but if we were to lay it flat and only look at the top, you are correct. Those are. And you know what, James? What is funny is in my math endorsement class, I said, we use these crazy attribute blocks, and they're really kind of 3D because they're not flat. And they're like, you're right. I said, some kid's going to come up with that. And you did. But let's just look at the top layer.
You could move it this way.
Oh, so you're telling me that if you have a square, and you're telling me this is a square, but if I turn it this way, it's still a square? It's okay to be a square?
Yeah.
What about this? Can I do it that way? What about this way?
Still a square.
Still a square? Oh, so it doesn't matter which way we tilt it, it's still a square. Because why? Why?
Because it's still the same shape but turned around.
Oh, I love how you explain that. Because I didn't add any links to the sides, did I? I just tilted it and turned it. I love that you explained that. Hey, and Allie, at closing, I want you to explain that to the class. Because some people may not know that, okay? I'd love for you to explain that. He was talking about those because they're technically not plain figures. All right, come work with your table. I love it.
It is a diamond, but rhombus is the proper word for diamond.
It's the mathematical word, isn't it? I like it.
Because it's too big.
I love that you're doing them different ways. All right? I can think about it in different ways. Hey, guys, Allie just used one of our standards of mathematical practice. She said, I can show my shape in different ways, which is number 4. I can show my shape in many ways. So think about if you're using our standards of mathematical practice. Can you show your shapes in different ways? So,
Put 2 squares together.
Macy, hold the phone. Tell me what you just said. What did you just say?
It says to make a rectangle. It says to put a rectangle, but I don't have a rectangle. So since I don't have one, I can put 2 squares together.
Prove it to me. I don't know. Do I believe you? Show me.
I want to see this.
You want to see this too, Isabella? I love it. Show me.
How to do it.
All right, show me. So she said, guys, we don't actually have a pattern block of a square, but she's telling me 2 squares this way could push together to make a rectangle. Absolutely. Now, is that always going to be true, though?
Yeah. Always together.
Okay.
It could be a big.
It could be a really skinny rectangle, right? And with the two squares pushed together to make that? No. So, but for what we're just trying to show right now, sure, sometimes two squares pushed together to make a rectangle, but does it always work?
No, but
No.
just sometimes.
Just sometimes. Good. I like that you know that, though. What is that? What is that shape? Tell me what it is. Tell me a hexagon, but you're not holding a hexagon.
And also, Miss Hayward,
What are you holding?
Trapezoid.
Oh, so a trapezoid. You can do something with the trapezoids? What can you do with them?
You can put two together and make a hexagon.
So you're telling me you can take two trapezoids that look like that and push them together to make a hexagon. I love it. But tell me, I'm confused because, you know, this trapezoid, it has 4 sides. But when you push them together, it's only showing 6. What happens in here?
Look, that is a square
right
there. You're drawing a
This
square.
one breaks
Complete
into that.
square.
Those combined. Do you remember the task we did earlier with the toothpicks? When we combine sides together, they disappear, right? One side's going to disappear. But here, we combined 2 shapes, so 2 of those sides disappeared. Good job, Maylee. Write that down. I love that. Yes, sir. What is a quadrilateral? I want you to talk to your group and see if y'all can figure out what a quad. Now, I want you to think of the word, and you're an outdoors person. Quad. Have you ever heard of a quad?
It's right here.
Okay. It's your quad. Anywhere else you might have heard that word quad. So think about it.
Gymnastics.
Okay. I'm going to give you a hint. There are 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quadrilaterals on that page. So that's your hint. Guys, we have some people struggling with the word quadrilaterals. I want to give you a hint. There are 5 shapes of quadrilaterals on that page. So think about what they have in common. Will you share that during closing? I love that. So think about it. I think it's still recording, though. I should probably double check, though, shouldn't I? Thank you for letting me know. Oh, it's following me. Oh, it's still going. Good deal. Okay, so tell me what you got. Oh, I love this. So tell me, how did you figure out what is a quadrilateral?
I figured it out because I learned about them in 2nd grade.
Oh, so you retained that from prior knowledge. I like it. So tell me, what is a quadrilateral?
They all have 4 sides and 4 vertices.
They all have 4 sides and 4 vertices. So what are some shapes you named into here?
Square, a rectangle.
Yeah, it's a rhombus. A rhombus, good. And what else? I like this one. This one's not on that page. Do you know what that's called? Do you remember from 2nd grade what that was called? You drew it, which is awesome. You remembered it. Yeah, that one's there, but what about this one? Because that's your rhombus. You added one on there. About it. I'll come to you. Oh, don't give up on me. Think about it. I told you there's a hint. There's 5 shapes on there that all come together to make a quadrilateral. They all go in its category. Remember, that's our standard. That's a rhombus. Do you remember the word parallelogram? Yeah, that's what you drew as a parallelogram. I want you, will you share that during closing, though, that's what that shape is? A parallelogram? Because that's not on that page, is it? But that's part of our standard. Okay? Awesome job. All right, guys. Everybody's doing great. Yes, sir.
Look at this.
What did you put there?
So I was just drawing randomly, putting them in spots, and then I randomly do this little part right
Look,
here.
but I like how you didn't draw a traditional rectangle that is just like 2 squares pushed together. You made a skinny one. I like that, because can't rectangles be turned all different kinds of ways? Like in this classroom, could we find many different sizes of rectangles, guys?
Actually,
Yes. What did you do? What did you do? To what? You've discovered something.
I already knew about this long
So
time.
tell me.
So,
What is this? What shape is this?
a quarter.
It is part of the quadrilateral family, but it actually has its own name. Can you find on that page where it has its own name? Would it be a rectangle? No. A square? A rhombus? You think so? So you think two rhombus or two rhombi joined together because you said that makes a hexagon, right?
I should also.
Okay, work with your table. See if somebody can help you name that shape. Help him. Help him name that shape. What is it? He's got two red ones in his hand.
So.
What are those called?
These two.
Oh, somebody told you at your table. What are those two called? Trapezoids. Okay, so what is that called, Darren? Trapezoids. So you're telling me, use your words, two what?
Trapezoids.
Makes a?
Hexagon.
So smart. Could you combine any other shapes, guys, to make another shape on the paper? Well, let's try. Why not?
You have 4 squares and make a square.
Really? Oh. What does that make?
I just thought of a genius.
It makes a rectangle. Now, is that always two squares always going to get pushed together to make a rectangle if they're squares like that? Perfect squares. Now, but what about if I have a long, thin rectangle?
I made a square.
A long, thin rectangle.
I was doing something on the shape to see what I made.
Yes.
Isabella just took it.
Okay, well, let me talk. Isabella, are we using our social contract? It's okay. But listen, can we share that shape with someone else? Yes, we can. We can definitely share that shape with someone else. Thank you, King.
Me either. I give up.
Oh, don't give up. What if
I can't say it.
It is a funny word, isn't it? What if I give you a hint? Oh, girl, you found something else. What if I give you a hint? Quad. Are we ready, Caroline? Quad means what, Antonio? Oh, he just told you. Quad means 4. So go look. Awesome. So you just noticed something. So do you think a square, Caroline, is a quadrilateral?
Yes.
Okay, find me something else.
Rectangle.
Okay, you're on a roll. A trapezoid, a rectangle, a square. What else? Okay, I'll be right there. A rectangle. Now look, that rectangle and two squares pushed together rectangle. That one looks different, doesn't it? That's a skinny rectangle. What is that? Oh, close. A pentagon has 5 sides. What is that? Trapezoid. Good. Now, we're not building a picture right now. We're going to do that later in a task, okay? I promise. We're finding our different shapes, and we're telling their attributes.
Rhombus.
Yes.
These are quadrilaterals.
You got it, girl. So if you're not sure what a quadrilateral is, come over here to your friend, and she's going to explain what she just said. Just call it a quadrilateral. All right, Isabella, come over here. Or you can just lean over and listen. All right, Caroline, can you start over for me? Because Isabella's ready to hear what quadrilaterals say.
Okay,
Quadrilateral.
Quadrilateral is.
Yes, tell me about them.
4 sides. A square has 4 sides. A rectangle has 4 sides. A trapezoid does. And a rhombus does. So this is the family of quadrilaterals.
That's it's a family, right? What math word did we use earlier in our standard? A category. Category, good. I like it. All right, guys, we are going to give you about 2 more minutes, and then we're going to come and close. If you did not finish your page, is that okay? Absolutely. What is that?
They're the same thing. If you put them all together, it makes the same thing.
What shape is that called when you push them all together?
Hayward.
It actually is going to be called a rhombus. Oh, it's this. Look what you made. You made that. You made a rhombus. Great job. Yes.
Mr. Woodman actually taught us.
Awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. It's okay. Let me talk to Daniel. Uh-oh, Cassandra. Go sit down. I'll come to you.
And so if you were to draw something completely random, but
Yep.
you were to have just 6 sides.
Yep.
And as many points, so
6
yeah.
vertices. Uh-huh.
it would still be a hexagon.
It would. And instead of sharing about quadrilaterals, I want you to share about that. It doesn't matter. Some of those are traditional the way we see them, right? It doesn't matter what we draw with 4 sides as long as it's straight and closed. It's still a quadrilateral or it's still a hexagon. All right, will you share that during closing? All right, guys, I'm going to come around. Let me see who's ready. Thank you, Maylee. Thank you, King. Thank you, Jaylene. Thank you, Barron. Thank you, Julian. Thank you, Cassandra. Thank you, Aiden. Thank you, Caroline. Thank you, Macy and Jenna, Bella, Daniel, Isabella. Guys, I'm going to have you leave your shapes at your table, but I want you to bring your paper to the rug because we have some classmates that discovered some stuff that they are going to share for us. So let me see. Oh, I love the way Bryson came to the rug. If I ask you to share, go ahead and put your thumb up and sit crisscross applesauce. I know, it's going crazy. Oh, there it's moving again. All right. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Allie and Julian and Antonio. Yes. All right, so this is our closing time. Now remember, during closing, Miss Hayward steps away, right? You guys lead closing, so you're going to have a classmate come up here. Your classmate is going to describe something that they saw. You may have found that also. But are we going to interrupt our classmate? No, because we're going to follow our social contract. All right. If you agree with someone, show me the sign that I agree. All right. Show me the sign that I agree. Great job. Do we have to talk and yell out, oh, me too, me too, me too? No, we just show our sign that we agree. So the first person I'm going to ask to share, and I'm going to step away, is Allie. And guys, remember, you should have questions in your head to ask Allie. All right? And we're going to be looking to see if she followed the standards of mathematical practice, and is she able to describe to us what she found. So Miss Hayward's going to step away for your closing, but I'm hoping it's not going to follow me and it'll stay on you. And I'm actually going to give you the necklace. All right? You're just going to wear it. All right? And when you talk normal, it'll record you.
So, whenever you move a shape, it's still the same shape, but just moved around. So, like, if you put a square a different way, it's kind of like a rhombus. Yes. Well, so a rhombus can be shaped as a different way, like that. And so square can be shaped like this, just to make a different shape, but still the same shape. Any more questions? Bella?
So when you were doing that, I noticed that you were really paying attention to your paper. And I like that.
Thank you.
Caroline, great job. Great job, Allie. I love how you said that, that a shape can be tilted and it's still a shape. Still the same. All right, Caroline.
I realized while we were working, I was counting my vertices and my sides, and I realized they're the same number. So a vertice is the corner of it, the corner of your shape, and there's the same amount of vertices as there is sides. And I also realized that I counted them, and then I figured that out. Any questions? Jenna? Vertices are the corner of the shape or thingy. Aiden.
How you explained it.
Thank you. Jamira.
Why are vertices so important to shape?
They are important because without them, the shape would just be like, without it wouldn't be, yeah, like there'd just be lines. Mm-hmm. Isabella.
How do you know?
Daniel. Oh, did you have a question?
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Can you repeat that, please?
How could you figure it out?
Well, I just looked at how many corners there were and how many sides there were, and then I counted and I lined them up, and they had the same number of them. Okay. Who do I give it to?
All right. Great job, Caroline. Let's give Caroline a round of applause. Great vocabulary. Daniel has something to share with us.
Hello. Hello, little camera. What's up, man? When I was doing this, which I actually didn't notice this technically, but in second grade, Mr. Woodman actually taught us this, so Antonio might remember it still, and Isabella, Caroline, many others. So while I was saying it, I mentioned hexagons. So I'll just, or it could be quadrilaterals, many others, again. So this is kind of like Allie's. I'll kind of show you my paper. I do the pentagon in a completely different way. First of all, because I didn't remember. Classic Daniel. But second of all, because I knew that no matter however you drew it, it would just have to be enclosed and have vertices and sides. That it would still be a hexagon. Pentagon. So I drew it completely different, and it still has 6 sides. Wait, that's a hexagon. 5 sides, and it still has 5 vertices. So it was still a pentagon. Any questions? Jamira.
I like how the way you explain about the shapes in the same way Allie did, because you both related your papers together and it was like the same thing. Both of them.
Thank you. Isabella.
I like how you and Allie's sharing, was kind of like the same, but a little different and more explainable.
Thank you.
Daniel, I think Mainly has one.
Maybe.
Are you saying when you
What? You're just talking about Cora. That's all.
I think she's wanting you kind of maybe to prove what you mean by, like you said, something about you can draw it different, but it's still a hexagon, even though it doesn't look like a normal hexagon. Can you draw it for us up on the board? Okay, so we can follow, see what you're doing.
I'll draw.
You may have to sweep it, buddy.
Sweet. Brian. That was quick. Pen. A random black. I didn't even touch that. So how I drew it was like completely different, and it was more like I drew it in a very odd way. Forget about this one. And I drew it like that, which is clearly not how you would normally draw a pentagon, but it's still a pentagon because it has the same size and same vertices.
Great job. All right, guys. We are at the end of our closing, but I do want to tap on to what you're saying here, Daniel, because I think he's making a really good point. He is saying here that that's not the traditional pentagon of 5 sides that you see. Does it always have to look like home plate in baseball? No. And that is so important. It doesn't have to always look like home plate. Does this have 5 sides? Does it have 5 angles? So is it a pentagon? Yes, absolutely. All right, I did promise one more person before we move to our technology connection. And Jamera, I want you to come up. She has something to prove, and then I'm going to tell you what we're going to do for our technology. I appreciate you giving your classmates all your attention. Okay, Jamera.
As soon as I noticed that the hexagon
Was 2 trapezoids pushed together equals a hexagon, and I also noticed that a diamond is 2 triangles pushed together. And to make a big triangle, you need a trapezoid at the bottom, you need a triangle at the top. Yes, Caroline?
how do you know that there are the same vertices and the same sides?
Are you talking about the hexagon? Well, a trapezoid has 4 sides, and another trapezoid, 2 trapezoids equals 6. So it technically is actually a hexagon. So if you just accidentally push a trapezoid and another trapezoid together, you have a hexagon. And if your mom doesn't have a hexagon in the house or a shape, just get 2 trapezoids. Yes, Jenna. Yes, Jenna. Jenna got the question.
Jenna has a question.
Oh, I'm scared.
Can we talk about the quadrilateral?
I do not know what it looks
We
like.
did talk about that.
I'm
It has
very
4
sorry.
sides. All right, guys, I want to show you your technology connection because I know you're going to love it because you love Flipgrid.
Following me.
All right. Up, get ready. Thank you, Jamira. Awesome. So our technology connection today to our lesson is, my directions say on Flipgrid, you are going to click on your Google Classroom. You ready, Macy? You're then going to click on Stream, and it says Flipgrid for Geometry. Your assignment is to choose 3 plane shapes and tell me everything you know about them. Can you do stuff that you just learned from your closing with your classmates? Oh my goodness, yes. We use lots of good vocabulary. So you're going to choose 3 shapes. You may pick up the shape from your pattern block. You don't have to show your paper. You could pick up a shape from over here. All right? I want you to choose 3 plain shapes. Tell me all of their attributes. The next thing, I want you to comment positive comments on 2 of your classmates. And I'm looking for math vocabulary. All right? Somebody has a triangle. Be like, I really like how you described it with 3 sides and 3 angles. All right? You got to use vocabulary from math. How are we going to find this? Who can recap and tell me how we're going to find this? Caroline.
You go to the waffle, you pick classroom.
Okay, you go to the waffle, you pick classroom. Macy, where is it going to be under classroom?
It's going to be on the stream.
It's going to be on the stream. So we're going to click on it, and then yours will show up with a link to go to Flipgrid. Now remember, Flipgrid picks up everybody's noise, so you need to spread out, and you need to whisper so we don't pick up anybody's stuff. Nope, we're going to stay in the room. All right, here we go.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sure. Any mean you want.
Sometimes headphones also work.
Headphones do help. Yes, darling.
With this, can I share about the...
I would love for you to share about that shape. I would love it.
One thing that a circle you can't make a different.
So do you think a circle is a polygon? Because what was our definition of a polygon? It needs to have what? Closed figure. Okay, it's closed, but what about it's got to have straight? So is a circle a polygon? Nope. That could be something you share. That's real. It's still a shape, absolutely. It's just not definition of a polygon. Right. Oh, I love how Macy's in her ready position getting on flip grid. You may use, yes, anything you want.
This one's just stretched out and this one's just squashed.
Perfect. All right.
I'm going to explain what I explained up there.
I would love for you to explain that. All right, Julian and Giancarlo, you guys might want to spread out because it's going to pick each other's stuff up. It's on the link on the top, Isabella. Great. Yeah, well, it's kind of following me. You can show me something. I'm going to pull this so it can see your flip grid. In just a moment, okay? I want to see your flip grid. Oh, that's beautiful. I love it. We're going to do a math test with that soon where you get to build them. Pretty cool, right?
Can we even do more than
Absolutely. You've got 5 minutes on there. All right. Thank you, boys and girls. We have people filming, so we should be in whisper mode now. You're just doing one video with all the shapes in it. Okay? I love it, but I need you on your flip grid.
Can't find a circle. How many people think?
Yeah, absolutely. Be resourceful.
Talk about it. Tell us about it.
Tell all their attributes. Not sure what's turned there now. I want to move this so it can see everybody doing their flip grid.
In the bucket.
Okay.
It's a flat shape. So it's got 4 points, it's got 4 points like a square.
Good job. I love it. So smart.
Because there's 2 short sides, 2 long sides.
Great job. I'm going to see if I can unplug it. If it will still pick up the audio. And I can see let them see your videos.
Then if you have this, so this on top. But if you can also try it like this, and then it'll still be 4 sides. But it's really cool, and it's just shape and
Great job, Aiden.